Hello everyone, welcome to the GC People Leader series. My guest today is Cliff Pryor, currently CEO with Big Society Capital. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now you're just about to move on to another role. Give our audience some flavour of what you've taken on.
Okay, well that's the global steering group on impact investing, which is trying to drive a movement to impact economies across the world. It's got a 10-year timeline to achieve that, linked to the Sustainable Development Goals. And it's a very small team, there are 6 or 7 of us, 32 countries so far, 500 members within those countries, all working on impact investment, impact enterprises, and impact economy. So delivering social and environmental success for the world.
Now you've taken the GC index and you come out with a strong game changer strategist profile. Do folk know what they're getting, or is this what they want in this new role?
Certainly I suppose two wants, one of which is the chair, who very much wants the big ideas, and the other from the team, who want those ideas channeled into deliverable projects. So strategizing, I suppose, is the what they're looking for.
So they're expecting a bit of both, the creative ideas and the thinking.
They are, yes, and across the membership, I call it membership, the leaders of the countries that are engaged in this. I think what they're looking for is a community of practice, and I say that having pretty good working relations, in some cases personal friendships, with about half of the country leaders.
We'll come back to that theme, because I'm sure our audience will be interested to know or get insights into how you see your success going forward and what the critical ingredients are for you in making the impact that you want to. But let's look back for a moment. You've had a successful career. Give us a couple of stories of how your game changer strategist profile has been reflected in that success.
Yeah, well, a couple of examples, I guess. Way back in housing association days, working in an organisation that had a large number of supported housing. So this is people with all kinds of disabilities, difficult backgrounds, etc. And the surprise for me when we got there was that they had no tenure whatsoever. They had no right other than, tomorrow you're out. And if people are in difficulty, that kind of, lack of roots, lack of rights, lack of self-esteem that comes with being a person, that wasn't going to work for their success, for their recovery. So I introduced tenure rights, 6-month tenure rights into the program, and I thought
you described this as radical.
Well, it was really radical. I mean, back in those days, nobody was doing that in that field, and there are a number of folk who I thought were pretty old-fashioned. One of whom was, ex-military and very disciplinarian, and this is how we do things and what have you. And I thought, I'm going to have terrible trouble with him. And the surprise was he said, Cliff, you've got horse sense, I'll go with it. It wasn't that he understood why, he just understood that probably this guy is right on it. And it did work, and it made a huge difference to the organisation. It stabilised the organisation. It gave us sort of precedence in its field, and people really did feel more like human beings and less like, being done to.
Yeah, that's a nice story. You'd obviously won his trust.
Yeah, I don't know how.
No, we might come back to that theme a little later, but and tell us the Birmingham story.
So this was coming into an organisation which was for supporting people with severe mental illness, schizophrenia, psychoses, bipolar disorder, and so on. And a really tricky organisation that was both a mass membership organisation and delivered huge amounts, 40 million a year of NHS and social care. And I was going around, in my induction program, visiting our projects, and one young guy in Birmingham said, "I'll show you around this building." And as he was showing me around, he was telling me his story. And his story included everything going right. From the very first steps of him becoming unwell, right the way through the process, and it was as though he was telling me that he'd gone through a series of gates, every one of which was open, and as a consequence, it wasn't that his illness was suddenly magically gone, but he felt like a person in charge of his illness, not an illness in charge of him, and that said to me, in a time when severe mental illness was really just about managed misery. It gave an example that it could work. This is how it could work. We have to make that the norm, not the exception. And it was a 9-10 year process to make that happen, and it was transformational in the sector.
Yeah.
Just from one person's experience, but.
Yes. So it's consistent with our understanding of game changers, there are times when you see things with real clarity that can lead to tangible change.
Yes, I never feel like I've had the idea. It's somebody else has done it, and they haven't spotted the significance of it.
Right.
That's yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So you collect observations, you collect insights, but do something with them that can lead to change.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah. Well, and let's move on to your. When are you starting your new role?
Oh, so that's end of May, start of June.
I'm sure everyone will wish you well with that. Let's distill the sort of key ingredients. You at your very best. If we pick up complementary relationships first, because your profile shows you as a man of ideas, but not quite the same energy for tangible, operational, delivery. Who are those folk that you would want around you that do complement you? What's your experience been?
Yeah, so I mean, it's different in different organisations. My last job in Unlimited, working with social entrepreneurs, I was surrounded by people with big ideas, and we really needed some folk who could turn them into practical. But we were the majority. That was comfortable. My current job, I'm the minority, massively the minority, in a very analytical, cerebral delivery kind of organisation. It's more painful, but there, our head of strategy really likes filtering the big ideas, and is that sort of transition path, and that works really well.
Yes, so that's helped. You mentioned trust a little early on. That's an important theme for you, to feel that helps you to be at your best. With your ideas? Hugely, and it seems to work. It seems to be mutual. So, in the new job, as I mentioned, about half of the country leaders are close, trusted friends, and as well as having a community of practice around, and that you can get so much more out of that. And I guess that's where I can really play. Where does the trust work? It's about integrity. It's about offering genuine value. It's about really caring about the other person's circumstance. So that trusting environment helps you to play.
Yeah. So if I come along with, here's a big idea, it's not too scary. Honest. you've got the trust to think, well, maybe
Because
he
you were
was right last time.
suggesting earlier that you've been known to go off on one, not quite sure what that.
Yeah, which does
looks
mean
like.
that sometimes folk who I trust and who trust me will say, not that one, or not that one now. So there's an issue that I'm pursuing at the moment, but I know from myself, but also from close colleagues, we're not going to win it right now. It will be important. There will become a time when it's important. Be ready for that time, but don't try and push it all right now.
Yeah. So, trust, complementary relationships, keen.
Genuinely shared value. There's no point in just having a sort of empty trust thing.
Yes.
That's just about you go out for dinner with somebody.
Yes.
It has real value.
Yes. So that safety allows you to play, allows you to be at your most creative, and with the right people around you, that creativity can turn into something transformational.
Yeah, I would say that's the case. One of the other things that some of those folk will say is that there's a humility about it. That it's not telling people what to do. It is actually drawing their ideas and adding value back.
Yes.
So the idea is better.
Yeah, so you're not driving a personal agenda here. It really is about creative, interactive play.
Yeah, which I suppose is why I've always ended up in sort of social purpose organisations.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Cliff, thank you very much for your time today, and I'm sure everyone will wish you well. Probably want an update at some stage, but we'll see how it goes. So thanks once again for being with us.
And thank you for this programme, which has really helped me understand myself and hopefully other people as well. Thank you.
Thank you.